Robert Redford of the United States, was born on the 18th of August in the year 1936 in Santa Monica, California. His father, Charles, first worked as a milkman before becoming an accountant, while his mother, Martha, was a homemaker who cared deeply for the family until her untimely passing during Robert's teenage years. What shaped this young boy from Southern California into one of Hollywood's most celebrated actors? How did the struggles of losing his mother and drifting as a restless youth transform into a career that would captivate audiences around the world? What sparks of ambition turned a wandering dreamer into the Sundance Kid, a name forever etched into film history? Growing up in Los Angeles, Robert was surrounded by the energy of the entertainment world, attending school alongside the children of producers and actors. Yet he was not immediately destined for stardom. As a teenager, he won a baseball scholarship to the University of Colorado, but his time there was short-lived. Restless and eager to explore, he dropped out and began a wandering journey across Europe, studying art in Paris and painting in Florence. These years gave him a love of creativity, but his path was still uncertain. Eventually, Robert returned to the United States and moved to New York City, where he enrolled at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. This decision became the turning point of his life. Training in drama honed his raw talent and gave him the discipline needed to succeed on stage and screen. His efforts soon paid off when he made his Broadway debut in 1959 with the play Tall Story. By the early 1960s, he was landing guest roles on television shows such as The Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock Presents. But his breakthrough came in 1963 when he starred in Neil Simon's play Barefoot in the Park. His charm and presence on stage revealed a natural talent that could not be ignored, setting the stage for the remarkable career that was about to unfold. In the mid-1960s, Robert Redford was still searching for the role that would define his career. He appeared in several films, but many were quickly forgotten by audiences. Among the few exceptions were The Chase in 1966 and the film version of Barefoot in the Park in 1967, where his performance once again showed the spark that had made him a Broadway star. Yet, Hollywood had not quite figured out where Redford fit. That all changed in 1969 with a role that would cement his image as a leading man. Cast alongside Paul Newman in the comic Western Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Redford played the outlaw Sundance Kid. The film was not only the top-grossing picture of that year, but also became an enduring classic of American cinema. Audiences around the world were charmed by Redford's sharp wit, rugged looks, and the natural chemistry he shared with Newman. Overnight, he went from being a promising young actor to one of Hollywood's most sought-after stars. The momentum continued with Downhill Racer later that same year, where he played a fiercely competitive skier, and then The Candidate in 1972, portraying an idealistic lawyer drawn into the messy world of politics. These roles proved his versatility, showing he could handle both character-driven dramas and box office hits. 1973 brought another landmark year. Redford starred opposite Barbra Streisand in The Way We Were, a sweeping romantic drama, and reunited with Newman in The Sting. Both films became massive successes, with The Sting winning the Academy Award for Best Picture. For his performance, Redford received his only Academy Award nomination for acting, a recognition that solidified his reputation as one of the brightest stars of his generation. By the mid-70s, Robert Redford had become more than just an actor. He was a cultural figure, representing both the glamorous allure of Hollywood and the thoughtful, charismatic characters that audiences found unforgettable. The foundation was set for a career that would continue to evolve in surprising ways. By the mid-70s, Robert Redford stood firmly as one of Hollywood's top attractions. His success was not only measured in ticket sales, but also in the depth and range of his roles. In 1972, he had already impressed audiences with Jeremiah Johnson, portraying a rugged mountain man in a story that blended wilderness survival with human resilience. Soon after, he stepped into the role of Jay Gatsby in the 1974 film The Great Gatsby, bringing to life the mysterious millionaire from F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel. Although reviews of the film were mixed, Redford's performance was praised for capturing Gatsby's charm and loneliness. That same decade also saw him in The Great Waldo Pepper and the thriller 3 Days of the Condor, both released in 1975. Yet it was his portrayal of journalist Bob Woodward in All the President's Men the following year that left a lasting mark. Starring alongside Dustin Hoffman as Carl Bernstein, Redford helped dramatize the Watergate scandal and the downfall of President Richard Nixon. The film received 8 Academy Award nominations and reinforced Redford's ability to balance star power with serious storytelling. As the years went on, Redford became more selective about the projects he accepted. He was no longer chasing constant exposure. Instead, he looked for stories that carried weight and characters that challenged him. The Natural in 1984 brought him back to the screen as a baseball hero with a mythic edge, earning multiple Academy Award nominations. Soon after, Out of Africa in 1985 paired him with Meryl Streep in a sweeping romance that went on to win 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. By this point, Redford had achieved the rare balance of critical respect and popular appeal. He was more than just a star. He had become a Hollywood icon whose work reflected both artistry and mass entertainment. His next step, however, would take him behind the camera, opening a new chapter in his long career. In the 1980s, Robert Redford expanded his role in the film industry by stepping behind the camera. His directorial debut, Ordinary People, released in 1980, told the story of a family coping with grief and hidden tensions. The film stunned critics and audiences alike, winning the Academy Award for Best Picture and earning Redford the Academy Award for Best Director. This achievement proved that he was more than a screen presence. He was also a thoughtful and skillful storyteller. Redford's directing career continued with projects such as A River Runs Through It in 1992, a lyrical family drama that showcased his love of nature and careful attention to detail, and Quiz Show in 1994, which dramatized the quiz show scandals of the 1950s. Both films earned critical acclaim and multiple Academy Award nominations, confirming Redford's standing as a serious filmmaker. His other works, including The Milagro Beanfield War, The Horse Whisperer, and The Legend of Bagger Vance, received more mixed reactions but demonstrated his willingness to take creative risks. Beyond directing, Redford's greatest legacy may be his role as a mentor and advocate for independent filmmaking. In the late 1960s, he purchased mountain land in Provo Canyon, Utah, where he later developed the Sundance Resort. By 1980, he had established the Sundance Institute, a place where young directors and writers could learn their craft through workshops and labs. From this institute grew the Sundance Film Festival, which began in Park City, Utah, in 1985. Over the years, it became one of the most influential film festivals in the world, launching the careers of filmmakers such as Quentin Tarantino, Steven Soderbergh, and the Coen brothers. For Redford, Sundance was not just a festival but a movement to give independent voices a platform outside the control of Hollywood studios. Through both his directing and his commitment to Sundance, Robert Redford reshaped American cinema. He encouraged new generations of artists, nurtured fresh ideas, and created a space where innovation could thrive. His vision ensured that his impact would extend far beyond his own films, leaving an enduring mark on the world of storytelling. As his career matured, Robert Redford became equally known for his activism and personal convictions as for his film work. A passionate environmentalist, he fought against destructive energy projects, including attempts to build coal power plants near what later became the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument in Utah. He supported clean energy, conservation efforts, and served as a trustee for the Natural Resources Defense Council. His advocacy extended beyond the environment. He was also an outspoken supporter of indigenous rights, marriage equality, and broader human rights issues. These commitments reflected his belief that art and activism could work hand in hand to shape society for the better. Redford's personal life was marked by both joy and tragedy. He married Lola Van Wagenen in 1958, and together they had 4 children. Their marriage lasted until 1985, when they divorced. In 2009, he married German painter Sybil Shaggers, with whom he shared his later years. Family remained central to him, even as he balanced a demanding public life. Although his peak years as a box office draw were behind him, Redford continued to act in films that challenged expectations. In Sneakers in 1992 and Spy Game in 2001, he demonstrated his enduring charisma. The Horse Whisperer in 1998 showed his ability to direct and star in deeply emotional stories. His performance in All Is Lost in 2013, where he played a lone sailor struggling to survive at sea with almost no dialogue, earned widespread praise and reminded audiences of his power as a performer. He also appeared in unexpected roles, such as the Marvel film Captain America, The Winter Soldier in 2014, where he portrayed a shadowy government figure. Later, he took on lighter material with A Walk in the Woods, opposite Nick Nolte, and Our Souls at Night with Jane Fonda, a tender story of companionship in old age. By the late 2010s, Redford announced his retirement from acting, though he made brief appearances afterward. Even as the spotlight dimmed, his influence in film, activism, and culture never faded, ensuring that his presence was always felt both on and off the screen. In his final years, Robert Redford remained a towering figure in both film and culture. Even as he stepped back from acting, his influence continued through the Sundance Institute and the festival he had nurtured for decades. By the 21st century, Sundance had grown into a global stage for independent filmmakers, a legacy that embodied Redford's lifelong mission to support creativity and diverse voices. Although his last major film role came with The Old Man and the Gun in 2018, Redford surprised audiences with cameo appearances afterward, including a return to his Marvel role in Avengers: Endgame. His work behind the camera and as a producer also kept him engaged in the industry. Yet it was clear that he had chosen to close his acting career on his own terms, with dignity and purpose. Redford's final chapter was also one of recognition and honor. He received the National Medal of the Arts in 1996, Kennedy Center Honors in 2005, the Dorothy and Lillian Gish Prize in 2008, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016. These awards reflected not only his contributions to film, but also his activism and dedication to social causes. On the 16th of September in the year 2025, Robert Redford passed away at his home in Sundance, Utah, at the age of 89. His death marked the end of an era, but his influence lives on through the countless filmmakers he mentored, the festival he built, and the films that continue to inspire audiences worldwide. Redford's story is one of resilience, creativity and vision. From a restless young man searching for purpose to an actor, director, activist, and cultural icon, he left behind a legacy that reshaped American cinema. His life reminds us that art has the power to change the world, and his name will forever be linked to the golden age of film and the enduring spirit of independent storytelling. Thank you so much for watching.